Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to my stream and yet another chapter working on this guy right there. That's our USAF B-2A Spirit by Model Collect. It's 1/72nd scale kit. We'll run the intro, we'll get into it, okay? Okay, so we are continuing on this kit. We got quite a bit done last time. We got all those little rods and our little arms put in our landing gear, or not our landing gear, but our bomb bay, our bomb base. And so I am just finishing up putting a coat of white coat on the inside of our little bomb bay doors. So that's what I'm doing. I will shrink the window so you can see kind of what I'm doing over here. Whoops, not that one. This one here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm just finishing this up. So let me just finish this up and we'll get to what we need to do today. Okay, now we've got a couple that are looking a little whiter than the rest. Let's just make sure we've got that covered. It needs to be white. Right. Okay, so these are white now. Yeah, that's right. They're white. So, it's kind of a weird way to start off the video. I mean, here you get to watch me clean my airbrush. No, you don't have to watch me clean my airbrush. But, you guys watching live, you can watch me if you feel like it. But you guys who are not watching live, I will cut this part out. Okay, so the airbrush is clean and I want to get on to the other thing I need to paint today, and that would be our canopy. Okay, now the canopy, if you guys ever seen pictures of the F-22s, or even if you happen to have seen an F-22 in real life, you notice the canopy is kind of a yellowish reflective kind of color, and I want to duplicate that with this guy. So what I want to do is give the canopy a nice light coat of clear yellow on the inside, just to give it a little bit of a tint. Now ideally I'd like to mix the clear yellow with a little bit of silver to give it that little bit of a silvery reflective color, which is kind of like the way the F-22 is. So we're going to try that, okay? So let me grab a plastic cup. I only wanted one, but I haven't grabbed two. Okay, so a little plastic cup. I'm going to take a little bit of my super reflective clear here, or clear, not clear, super reflective silver, and we're going to mix this up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to take some Tamiya LP69, which is clear yellow. Mix this up. Now, I think what I've read online is, to me, as clear colors are basically just a super thin, like they just don't really put a lot of pigment into the paint, is what I've heard anyway. It's not super thin, right? You'll see when I pour it, it's not super thin. I think that's all I'm going to need. It's not super thin. It is going to have to be thinned though. And I'm going to use some Mr. Hobby leveling thinner, which I have right here. Mr. Color, not Mr. Hobby. Let's grab a little bit of this. Just a little bit, thin it out a little bit. I think that's probably good enough. Don't need it super thin. Don't need it super thin just to spray it. And of course that's all I need, is that little bit. Now I want to put just a tiny little bit of silver. I'm just going to dip my little mixer into the silver here and then just add that. And see what it did? It just totally silvered it up. Just that tiny little bit. Gave it a total metallic yellow color. But I think that's still going to be okay. As I pull it up on the clear on that, I think that's fine. We've got a little bit of a metallic sheen to it now. But I think that's fine. It's crazy how it did that. Now it looks like metallic yellow. Okay, so pour this into our airbrush. Okay, so I'm going to test this first. It's definitely spraying yellow. I'll grab a paper towel here. I'll just show you guys. Okay, let's put it on here. I'm going to spray it right there. Okay, it's yellow. So even though that silver makes it look really crazy in the cup, it's still just yellow. So I'm going to do a light coat on this. And I move first of all, move these guys out of the way. Okay, we have a yellow window, just like that. Done. Just like that, finished. Don't need that no more. These are probably dry now. Yep, they're dry. Now it's been a few minutes. Perfect. Now again, I gotta clean my airbrush, so I might as well just this over here and start cleaning, and again I'll cut the video right about here. Okay, so the airbrush is clean, and so I've got that all done. So we have our windshield or canopy, whatever you want to call it. She's going to go on right here, okay, and she's going to be a little bit of a, see, unfortunately, by spraying it, it is going to make it just that little bit foggy. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But you know, that's why I sprayed it on the inside. Let's get this off of there. Find that little nub on here is a bit of a, gonna be a bit of a pain. Looks like they undergated it, but at the same time they made it so that it does that and it looks like crap. See, take a look at this. This is what sucks. This is what sucks about putting a nub right there on the tip is it does that. Get into focus like that. See, that's terrible. That's a really awful way to do things. Why did they do that? I don't know. I'm going to try and get that so that it's looking better, which means grabbing my razor glass file, going Gundam style on this. Try and get that nub polished up. As much as I polish it up, it's still going to be a terrible look, I think, no matter what I do. I can minimize it, but it still looks like that no matter what. And of course, it's right in your face. It really is. Whoops. This goes up in here, slides in like that. And that awful looking piece right there, that's just terrible, right? I mean, come on guys, you can do better, you really can. This of course doesn't even fit quite properly there. Anyway, there's our glass, you can see them in there, right? But yeah, that sucks, that really does suck. I could try taking a little dab of the yellow and putting it on there. I could try doing that. It almost looks like there's supposed to be bars going through here. Let me look at a reference photo real quick here. If there's bars separating the window, then I don't think I have to worry about it at all. I just gotta find a reference photo. I know I have one of the cockpit of the nose. Oh yeah, okay. So there is a actual frame that goes all the way around the bottom and around the whole window and through here and here and here. So you know what I'm going to wind up doing? I'm going to glue the canopy down onto this and mask it off. Well, I'll mask it first and then I'm going to... You need to paint it the body color. Yes. Yes, pumping it. Yes. I gotta paint it, as I just saw in the photos. I have to mask it. I gotta mask this off and paint these the body color, or fuselage color, yeah. So there you go. So then this won't look so terrible. Yeah, good job. Okay, so speaking of that, I gotta look at the instructions and see actually what is next on my agenda, because we got this done. You may notice I put some more putty on these to fill in those gaps, to make them just to make those panel lines a little shallower so they don't just look like craters looking through there. Yeah, and so that's good. So these are all done. These are all ready to go. It's going to be kind of a nightmare masking this part off for painting, but that's the way it goes. Let me take a look at the instructions here and just double check where I am in this build. So if we go back, we got this all done. Bomb bays all assembled. That's irrelevant. We got the bomb bay in there. That's all ready to go. This front landing gear piece, we don't have to. Didn't have to do any of this stuff because it's being displayed in flight, so all the panels are closed. So that's nice. Same thing with our little ladder. That doesn't need to be done. That's all done. The cockpit obviously is already installed in the top part, and not like they suggest. And of course, I went over last time how I had to grind away the back edge of the cockpit and the front edge of the bomb bay because they were interfering with each other. So I had to do that, grind those away, but now they fit great. I think it's time to put the two halves together, I think. We got all these done, all our panels for the air intakes, that's all finished. Of course, putting the canopy in, but we're not going to do that right now. Engines are all assembled and put in, that's good. And so, bing, we've got our fuselage. So we're going to put our two halves together. That's what we're going to do. So I already know that, let's just put this aside here. We already know how this goes in, and it goes like that. Oh, you know, I forgot to show you guys. A little piece back here that broke off, and I discovered that last time. And I glued it on. I test fit the wing to make sure it's going to fit. And then, so after gluing it with some of the Tamiya glue, I put a little bit of CA glue on there just to make it a lot stronger of a bond. Because of CA glue, I can sand down and everything. And that's really what I should do right now before I get it glued. I want to make sure I get this sanded down right without going crazy on it. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to sand down some of the CA glue and get it to a point where it's flush at least. And I'll worry about getting it perfect later, but I want to get some of the CA done because the CA is tough stuff, right? So I might have to add more to fill it in properly, which it looks like I am. Because although the CA is holding it, it didn't fill it in perfectly. So I got to add some more there, and I want to make sure this is straight, flat. And then just double check on the bottom. See, this needs to be done too here. See, it should be nice and flat just like this, but we got to do this side. After all, he's displaying this thing in flight, so seeing the underneath is what's going to be seen all the time, so I want this to be looking nice. Getting there, but we got a big step right there, so I do have a big step right there, so I got to make sure. And I can't press too hard because I don't want to break it off again, so you got to be careful. Go slow and steady wins the race, right? That's what they say. Funny, you know, I just had this song running through my head the other day, actually earlier today. Okay, so I think I need to add a little bit more to fill that in. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Before I go any further with it, I'm going to add a little more CA glue. So, let's grab my little patented CA glue cup. Patented because, hey, and it's not plugged. Awesome. Okay. Give that a wipe. Get my patented CA glue applicator. And we're going to, I don't like spraying the accelerator. Just spray it and then it just goes everywhere, and I don't like that. I would rather just put a little drop like that. It's so thin, it just runs everywhere. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay. Now fill in this little crack up here. A little bit more. Right there. Alright. That ought to do it. I don't know if you guys can see that at all, but that's what I've had to fill in right there. Right there. Okay. That's where it was broken and there was a crack in there so you could see it. And so, and the same underneath a little bit. So I just need to fix that up. Okay. And I don't like to leave CA glue in my little container here. So I'll soak it up with a cotton swab / Q-tip, whatever you want to call it. Let that do its thing. It has some kind of a chemical reaction on these cotton swabs. You might see the smoke coming off of it there. Because it's almost like there's accelerant in this stuff, in these things. It's really weird. Something they use in these cotton swabs reacts with the CA glue and causes it to like accelerate dry like that, causes a heat reaction of some sort. Okay, so this should be dry now. Should be dry. And we're gonna start working on this again. Sand this down. I really should be using my display. How do you pronounce it? Display. This thing. I really should be using this. Why aren't I using this? This would just make short work of it. There we go, that's pretty good. Alright, work on this side. Still got a little bit of a cavity right here that I'd like to smooth out. Almost there. There we go. I think that's pretty good. That's not bad. Okay, so I've got that to a point where I'm happy with it. It's not ever going to be perfect. You can feel it's a little weird. Well, this side feels weird too, so maybe that's just the way it's supposed to be. Okay, let's put our two fuselage halves together. Let's finally get this together, right? Come on, just wasting time now, aren't I? So we go like this. And because I got those two guys shaved off inside there, it fits together nice and perfect. Just like that. I'll have to put a few little clamps on there, but not a lot. So, let's grab our glue. get some clamps ready. Clamps are just a...
Later.
Well guys, I apologize. After about 29 minutes or something like that, for some reason my system stopped recording what I was doing, and I really had no idea because the screen was on and everything like that, and everything seemed, while I was working, seemed like everything was fine. And it wasn't until I got to the end of the video and I was looking at the editing that I realized I only got 29 minutes of video. So I kind of have to recap a little bit here and show you guys what happened afterwards. So after getting that little piece sanded down good, we put the two halves of the fuselage together. And so I have them clamped together like this now. They are clamped and they are curing. The glue is drying, and that's I'm just going to leave that now for an hour or so before I do anything else with it. So yeah, that's what we got going on here with our fuselage. I did start masking off a little bit of the canopy to get the canopy masked off and ready for paint. So there's that, and yeah, I'm going to continue with that. I did go a little bit over. Oh, we assembled our little tail piece that's going to go back. It's currently it's going to go in place of this clamp here at the back. She's going to go in like this on the tip there. This was just two halves. The fit was not great, really. It's kind of had a little bit of a lip, and I did a bunch of sanding on this just in the last 5 minutes or so. Just did a bunch of sanding to bring that little edge down a little bit, and so that's smooth now. So that's going to look good once she's painted. Speaking of painting, the fuselage color is kind of this, what would you call it? Like a mix between a dark gray and a bluish gray maybe. And it looks, if you look online and you see reference photos of the plane, this is not a bad color. It looks pretty close. So I wanted to know exactly what color I should paint this to represent the actual real plane. So I googled it, what's the color of the B-2A Spirit bomber, and you've found an FS number. It's fantastic. So I got an FS number. So then I do that. What's the equivalent of that? ScaleMates, of course, helps out with that a lot. So you get the actual color it's supposed to be, the FS, blah, 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 blah. And then you get a whole list of the different brands of paints and their versions of that color. I always like to choose either Tamiya or Mr. Color as my go-tos for finding that stuff. Those are my two main that I try. Fortunately, Tamiya has a color that matches it perfectly. At least it does online. And that's XF53 Neutral Gray. Okay? Now I have that color. And actually, just let me grab that real quick here. I'm going to grab my XF53. I got to make sure I put this down correctly. Okay, XF53. Let me grab that. So, XF53. We got this here. Okay? The lid is not... Tamiya lids are not always the greatest when it comes to representing the actual color in the jar. So let's just open this up. Okay, there's our color. Okay, get that color there. There's your gray. Okay, that's the XF53. Okay, now of course that don't match this at all. That's really off. Let me change the camera. Actually, still recording? Yes, I am. Okay. So, we have that. There's our color, XF53. Here's one of the panels. Nowhere near that color. Right? It just doesn't match at all. So, I decided to take some German gray XF63. Okay, that's a 6, not a 5. And mix roughly 50-50. About 50-50. Some of the German gray with the XF53, and I've called it XF53 darker. And so I'll show you the comparison. Like this and this. It's about a 50-50 mix, and so it's just made it a little darker. Okay, that's better. We're closer, right? We're closer now. But I don't have that blue tinge to it. I want that bluish tinge. So I took some XF, what is it? XF8, I think it is. XF8. And mixed that in. A little bit of that, and I come up with this. And that's this. So that's what's in this jar. Is a mix of my darker XF53 with a little bit of blue in it. And I got that. And now we compare this to this, and that's pretty darn close. And that, I believe, is going to be a good representation of what the plane looks like in real life with that blue, with that little bit of a blue tint to it. I did notice, looking at the pictures online, there are some panels that they do. There are some panels that don't quite look like they're the same color, like maybe they've been replaced and they didn't have the exact same one, exact same color, so it looks a little different. I will be doing that to represent this plane as not something that's brand new, but has been in the field service for a little while and had a couple of panels replaced over time. And so that's what I'm going to do with my darker one, my darker XF53. We're going to choose a panel here or there that's been replaced and has that different shade on it. And so that's that. Okay, so I just wanted to jump back in here and kind of recap. I'll show you guys I got my bombs. They are all done. Bomb number 1, which has been deployed, we got the silver on the back there like it's supposed to have. And bomb number 2 with our folded fins, that's done too. So there we go. That is about it. Yeah, I spent about half an hour just going on about that. Yeah, and it didn't record at all. And I see it's still recording, so that's good. Anyway, guys, yeah, this is where I need to leave it for today. I need to get going. And so I really invite you guys to, down in that corner over there's a subscribe button. It'd really be awesome if you'd to hit that button, and maybe the like button over there too. That would be cool too. Yeah. Down, of course, in the description box is some links to my other things, like my Instagram, my Twitch, my X channel. You can check me out on there. And Instagram, I would say you can check me out. It's probably going to be the most interesting to check out, because you see every time I finish a build, I take a bunch of photos of it and I upload it to my Instagram. I will admit straight off the top, my photo skills need work. I really do admit that. My photos, as far as taking photos of my builds, not that great. My lighting source is not the best. I don't exactly have like a photo studio or anything like that. I literally just grab my Samsung phone and take some photos of it at different angles and stuff like that. I do the best I can with what I've got, okay? That's just the way it is. Anyway, yeah, so that's where we're going to leave it. I think we might be getting to painting next time. I know we're definitely going to get the wings installed anyway. That'll be next time. I want to thank you guys again for watching and all the support. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all in the next one.